Hello everyone. Today on this lecture we discuss about types of hypothesis. We already know hypothesis. Hypothesis is what? It is a prediction or it is a tentative statement that predicts the relationship between the variables. And you are seeing the components of hypothesis. There are four components are there. One is the independent variable, second is the dependent variable, third one is the relationship between the variable, and the fourth one is the population or the sample. Those the researchers testing investigated or tested. So these are the components. Here then throughout the hypothesis, we are dealing with the two variables, independent variable and dependent variable. On the basis of the relationship, this is independent variable, sometimes there is a parallel relationship is there. Means there is a relationship exists between the variables. Okay. Sometimes we say there is no relationship is there. If there is no relation between the independent variable and dependent variable. Somewhere with there is an association between the dependent variable and the independent variable. Okay. So on the basis of the relationship, they are classified into the 8 types. Okay. Let's discuss one by one. First one is the simple hypothesis. Hypothesis, it possesses the relationship exists. Here it is in the research problem there is a relationship exists between the two variables, and two variables is what? One is the independent variable, another is the dependent variable. Only two variables are there. So this is called simple hypothesis. Second example, doing exercise you will lose weight. Okay, so doing exercise is the independent variable, and reducing the weight loss is the dependent variable. So if do exercise, then weight will be lost. So it is a simple hypothesis or simple prediction. Okay. Second one, complex hypothesis. When in the research problem, there are number of more than one independent variable, more than one dependent variable. So the researcher take all the variables in the account or in consideration. On the basis, so they are classified. They are come under complex hypothesis. So complex hypothesis is what? It accounts the multiple variables and their interactions. Okay. So here take an example: healthy food, eating healthy food and exercise leads to weight loss, glowing skin, and reduce the risk of heart disease. Here, two independent variables are. But one is the eating healthy food, second one is the exercise. These are the independent variable. And what happens? The weight will be decreases, the skin will be glow, and the chance of or the risk of heart disease will be decreases. So there are three dependent variables. So this is called complex hypothesis. Okay. Next one, associative hypothesis. Associative, its name indicates there is a relationship between the independent and dependent variable or the co-relationship between the variables, but without interference. In the natural city, without any interference, without any manipulation, we only observe there is a relationship between there is a correlation exists between the independent variable and dependent variable. Second example, increased hour of watching TV increases the BMI of the school children. Is now the summer vacation is going on and students are school going children are not going to school, and they are spending much more time in front of the television. Yes or no? So this is the increased hour of watching that will be what? Increase the BMI, body mass index of the school going children. We are talking about the school children because holiday is going on in the school children. So this is the relationship, the correlation between the watching TV and BMI, body mass index. So this is called associative hypothesis. Fourth one, causal hypothesis. Causal hypothesis means it predicts one the variable directly affect the another variable. So here one variable we take as the independent variable. So independent variable directly affect the dependent variable. That is the cause and effect relationship is there. Okay. So this is called a causal hypothesis. Example: increase intake of sugar beverage causes weight gain. We know as now we see lots of beverages are coming in market. So if you take amount of cold drinks or any artificial sweetener things, juice, so that will be increase your weight. The weight will be increased. So due to the intake of high sugar beverage, the weight will be increased. So the sugar base is an independent variable, and the weight gain, that is a dependent variable. It directly affects the dependent variable. So this is the causal. This is come under causal hypothesis. Next, move on to directional hypothesis. Here, what happens? It is not only specified the existence of relationship between the variables, but it also helps to give you a direction. Okay, so directional hypothesis, researchers get a direction, positive direction or in negative direction. Two directions they will be get. Second example, high quality of education increase the practical skill or the practical knowledge of the student. If you teach the students with the new technology, is now come the AI stimulated procedures are also be available, or in demonstration, you take a demonstration class, then the students have a more practical knowledge. They will be more skilled. Okay, so this is a positive, but it is going forward. So it is a positive direction hypothesis. Okay. Second one, non-direction. Here only it's focused on the existence of relationship, but it's not identify and or it can specify any direction. Okay, so it is focused on relationship between variables, but doesn't specify any direction. Take an example, boys and girls are different in the terms of their helpfulness. So if you take boys and girls, and if you want to observe their kindness or their helpfulness, so it will be different from person to person, and also from the boys and the sometimes the boys are much more helpful as compared to girls, and sometimes the girls are much more helpful in case of in compared to boys. So it's showing the difference is there, but it's not giving you a specified direction. Okay, so this is called non-directional hypothesis. Next, move on to null hypothesis. Null hypothesis, here the prediction, it predicts there is no relationship. Okay, there is no relationship or difference between the variables. Okay, there are no relationship that's between the. So no is mentioning. So it is what this is called. This is called null hypothesis. This is called null hypothesis, and it is other name is statistical hypothesis, or you say it's represented HO. Take an example. Suppose in a court, a person is charged with murder. Okay, and one of his lawyers want to prove it innocent, and another lawyer want to provide the evidence to prove it what the murderer. So, as you are proving, the jury wants to consider if the person is innocent. That is no relationship of a person with the murder. In the murder case, there is no relationship of the person in the murder case. So this is called null hypothesis. Because we are not getting any evidence, or we are not have any proof to person is proof that is the murderer. So this is null hypothesis. So in our testing hypothesis testing also, the researcher want to disprove the null hypothesis. Second example, there is no significant relationship between the stress and immune system. Okay, so already it is declared that no significant relationship. Okay, so this is come under null hypothesis, because if you collect data and after collection of data you will statistically analyze them, then you find that really there is no relationship between stress and immune system. Then this is come under null hypothesis, and researcher always want to disprove this hypothesis. If the null hypothesis is disproved or rejected, then we jump on to alternative hypothesis. This alternative hypothesis is other name is what research hypothesis, and it is represented as HA. Okay, so here it's defined, it possesses statistical significance, have proved, have sufficient evidence is there. That is called statistical significance. So have proven or significant relationship or difference between the variables. So this is called alternative hypothesis. Example, increased stress level, already mentioned, increased stress level significantly what? Related to decreased immunity. So if you find any non-communicable disease persons, you will see or any chronic cases, you see the persons having stress level, anxiety is much more, and they're durable, or the prognosis, or prognosis, or the longevity will be decreased due to the stress or anxiety. So this is called the increased stress level are significantly related to decreased immunity of the person. So this is the research hypothesis, and or you say alternative hypothesis, and it is represented HA. Okay, so in on whole the section we only identify what is the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, so by the on the basis of the relationship, they are category or they are divided into 8 types. I hope you understand the types of hypothesis. Thank you for watching, and please keep on subscribing.